Yep. Hang on, let me try a different comms box. Maybe it's that. Hang on, I'm going to invite you to another party in a minute. This is fucking dumb. Yeah, it was fine Thursday. Yep. Do you have the cars now? Do we have the cars? It's going really well, this is. Right. I don't get that. Let me try and transition now. Hopefully we are live and everybody can hear us loud and clear, but we're praying, we're hoping. I think so. I don't know if it's working. Shoot me. I think it's working. Hello? Can anybody hear us? Is anybody there? God knows. God knows. Oh god, this is going so well. I'm going to try something else in a minute. Why is this not working? I don't understand. It's weird. It's so weird. It should work, but I don't understand it. Oh, classic. We will fix this at some point, but I don't know how. Yeah, I'm starting to lose my nerve with this thing. Hopefully we should have some sound back, but yeah, we had sound earlier on, but it's not wanting to have it now, and I'm not sure why. Oh god. I don't get it, I really don't. What's going on? It's not wanting to pick up the sound. I don't know if that's done anything, but probably not. Yep. I think we're live. Hello? I think we are. I think you might need to change your settings to allow your voice to be heard, but I think we are here. I'm pretty sure we're live. Hello, can people hear us? If you can, Jamie leads the way, and Ivor's at the back of the pack. Hey, there we go. Finally. Finally, we have some sound, we have some interaction. Yeah, we are, finally. Alright, God, okay. Firstly first, we have got Ben in the chat with me, but I think he needs to quickly go to his PlayStation settings and just change it so his voice is allowed to be heard. So go to the party, Ben, so that you can change settings so your voice can be allowed to be heard. But we are live, we are here. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, not sure what's been going on. But either way, it was Big Boy Brazier on pole, with James in second, and Nausea is now in third. Gary 131 and Matumic in fourth and fifth. Argent's in sixth, seventh is Sutty, eighth is Smoky Devil. DJ Phil is ninth, 10th is PN, and Ivor is bringing up the rear. Hopefully, you should be able to hear us all, but we should have Ben, aka Nexus, in the chat with us, and Fingers crossed, you should be able to hear him. So I'll hand over to Ben. Ben, how are you? And welcome to the commentary box. And I'll just double check that I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, you can hear me. I don't know if the rest of the people can hear me, but good evening to all. It's really be a pleasure to be at the commentary box tonight, because it's only been a month since I'm the captain of Simplay. So it's kind of surprising that I did end up here.
Just making sure that we could definitely hear you, but it is nice to have you in the chat with us, Ben. I've just realised that I've had two screens going on at once then, so hopefully I've muted one.
Oh my god, I can't hear myself back. Nuts.
Yes! Okay, right, apologies ladies and gentlemen, this has been an absolute sham. We're already 3 laps into the sprint. Ben, welcome to the commentary box, welcome to the commentary team. Right, we got this done.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry about this, mate. It's not been the best start. Hello, everybody. Hello, I'm Dan. This is Ben, and we're going to give you live action here at Simplay Motorsport. And right now, it's Big Boy Brazier leading the way.
Ben and Ben, such nice rhymes.
Oh God, technology. It's great when it works. It's also horrendous when it doesn't. But so far, you've been keeping an eye on what's been going on, and so far, Big Boy Brazier has been leading the way, hasn't he?
And yeah, and James is really closing up to him.
That's good to see. As like I said in the quick chat that we had talking to ourselves, I've got Nexus joining us in the commentary box. You've seen him probably racing in the pro category. He's joined me in the commentary box, giving it a go. The young Hungarian named Ben, only 17 years of age, and he's come and joined me in the commentary box. And how was it so far? It's a bit daunting at first, but when technology doesn't want to work, it really doesn't want to work.
Yeah. Having a nice debut with that.
I apologise for that one.
No, at least we sorted out. Not a big deal.
Yeah, I think the Streamlabs were starting to just not be too happy with the original live stream that was available. But before we talk about anything else, James, who's currently P2 at the minute and trying to find a way past on Big Boy Brazier, he is your F1 champion before we talk about anything else. So first things first, congratulations to James. He's obviously going to try and finish the season on a high. And he's going up against his championship rival right now, who he's got DRS on, and they're heading towards turn 1. Quick round through what track we're at. We're at Brazil for the next for the penultimate round of the season. Nexus is with me. Brazil, do we like Brazil, Ben? Yes or no?
Yeah. Such a nice track, but unfortunately it was a long time that I drove on it, because I only played F1 22 like in August last time before that. So, but I do really enjoy this track.
It is definitely a driver's favourite, this one. I definitely like this one as well. The home of the famous Ayrton Senna. Obviously, we've just been through the Senna S's, and Sutty Apex has gotten himself a 3-second time penalty already. The track limits already started to affect some of the drivers. I believe DJ Phil is already on a few as well. Let's have a quick look at the penalties. Yeah, DJ Phil and Sutty, the first one's on a penalty. So how this is going to work, we've got, like I said, Ben in the coach box. He's going to be keeping an eye on some of the races going on right now. We're currently on board with James and Big Boy Brazier. This is your closest fight, and James has been DRS. The DRS zone here, Ben, is very, very strong in this final sector. As soon as James opens that rear wing, he'll gain a lot of straight line speed, but he's got to try and get the job done in turn 1.
Yes, and also Argent had a really good start. I think we missed it. He's made up 5 positions by the telemetry.
Yeah, Argent in the Alpine had a great start. He just touches the grass there ever so slightly and losing the rear and losing a little bit of touch on Matimovic, which allows Matimovic to extend his gap. Smoky Devil now with a time penalty, and obviously Ben, obviously we're a big fan of F1 anyway, and we had some terrific racing here in the past. Max Verstappen going around the outside of Nico Rosberg in the wet conditions. That fight between Lewis and Max Verstappen as well. Then you had Fernando Alonso's famous crash in the final sector. There's been so many things that happened in this circuit, and this is one of the great things we love about this track. There's always something going on.
Yeah, the 2003 Grand Prix was an interesting one. Oh, I wasn't alive back then, but I watched it.
Obviously, like I said, quite a youngster. Obviously, a lot of the guys here at Simplay Motorsport are getting younger and younger. Us older boys, I say older boys, I'm only 27, but either way, all these boys are 10 years younger than me and already starting to catch up with us. As James is still harassing the back of Big Boy Brazier at the minute. This is your closest fight on track, and right now James is getting ever so closer, but he just doesn't seem to be able to have the edge on Jamie at the minute. He's just sitting there with the DRS zone. Do you think he's probably gone for a more balanced setup? The downforce on the car, a lot of downforce on the car, and he's not able to try and get the benefit in the straights.
Yeah, it seems like he's fast in the corners, but on the straight the Ferrari just goes away.
It does indeed. Obviously a Ferrari fan yourself, I bet you're hoping that Ferrari stays out in the lead.
Yes.
Obviously,
because Big Boy Brazier also drive the Audi in ACC, and we're the same brand as me, so of course I'm rooting for him, but I'm not trying to favoritize. I'm neutral.
you can have favourites. You can have favourites. We all do. I like to be neutral. I like to be in the middle. I like an underdog. I like a guy to come from the back of the pack and take a win. It's boring when you have the same old people winning all the time, which is hopefully we can see yourself on the top step of the podium, possibly in the new ACC season when it comes around. But right now,
I hope.
yeah, with James now really starting to pressurise Jamie, but he does not seem phased whatsoever. Meanwhile, Nausea has lost a little bit of time to Gary 131, a driver that you've gone wheel to wheel quite a lot this season with, and Gary in the Aston Martin trying to hunt down the Alfa Romeo. And the brief races you've had with Gary, what can you say about him? He's definitely a ruthless driver and a very good racer at that as well.
So James is really close to Big Boy Brazier right now.
We're just getting a little bit of crackling from your headset there, mate, but I think it's gone now. But James, yes, he's getting close, but it just seems like, he said, every time he gets to the straights, he has nothing. He has no answer. Yeah.
Yes. Ferrari just pulls away.
We go back to Gary 131, who's got down the inside of Nausea, going into the penultimate corner, and I think Nausea will have the benefit of the slipstream. And up the hill they go. As just want to double check in the chat, can we all hear Ben loud and clear? I think we can. But right now, Nausea is right behind Gary 131, and he's not able to get the job done, even with the DRS. He's not able to. James, meanwhile, is very close to the back of Big Boy Brazier. Rear wing open. Take us through this, Ben, as they head into the middle sector. How is James getting on right now?
Well, he's closer than ever, but again, just pulls away on the straight. He just cannot done the overtake yet.
Yeah, he can't quite get the job done. As Jamie, though, you see a little
can't
bit
get
of
the
lag
jump.
there. A little bit of lag from Jamie's end.
Not at me.
And he's got a bit of lag from my end. But either way, he's still leading the way at the minute. We've only got a couple of laps left to go, and Gary's cleared Nausea. Nausea is still ahead of Matimovic. You can't quite get on the back of him. Argent on his own in P6, Sutty in P7, Smoky Devil down in P8. He has got PM Motorsport breathing down his neck, the other Ferrari driver trying to hassle at the back of the Alpine. Alpine with two drivers here tonight to score points, which is nice to see.
And Matt, Argent, Sati and Smokey already got themselves with a 3-second time penalty, and DG Green with a 9-second time penalty.
I just see in the bottom corner there, Sati Apex has left the session, so I don't know if that's a disconnection, but obviously the AI will take over now, and he will be able to get himself back into the session. I will have to try and send him an invite, so let's see if that will work out. But keep us going on what's happening, Ben, as I try and get Sutty an invite.
Right. So James is still close to Big Boy Brazier, but he just can't find a gap to overtake.
With 2 laps to go now, do you think James is just going to have to concede this one and just stick with the second place, or do you think he's going to have to go for it near the end?
It will be interesting, I don't know. But from now, I just can't see how James will be overtaking Big Boy Brazier.
Oh, he's within
Oh,
two
but
tenths. He's
he's
looking
now
to the...
close.
He is close. He looks to the outside as they go to the second straight. Take it here from now, Ben. Let's see how they get on down the back straight. DRS will help him out.
Yeah, he's closer than ever. Only 2 tenths. And on the outside, gets the job done. James now overtake.
Oh!
Oh! Touch.
Yes, Jamie with slight contact to the rear of James there, and he goes round.
Front wing.
He has lost the front wing. Will he pit
He
for
has to
front?
pit for an...
Or will he just try and drag it to the end? Only with 1 lap to go. If he goes into the pits, he'll lose more places as it is. So right now, Jamie though, up into the middle sector, coming towards the final sector. He's leading the way after a slight contact with James, and James now having to drop down the order. Gary now up to P2, Nausea in P3, Matt in P4, James still trying to hang in P5, and Argent right behind him. James has just got to stay out now, obviously, with the way the sprint format works. Oh, as Argent hits him, as the format is here, Ben. Obviously, these guys, this will determine the grid for the next race, as I think Sutty's had a spin as well. Yes, he has. So Sutty's dropping down the order very fast. But obviously, the way this pans out is obviously this order will determine the order for the race itself, not the silly little sprint we've had this weekend that made no sense whatsoever. But right now, the big boy Brazier is on his way to a race win in the sprint.
Yeah, actually we have a battle between Matt and Nosy, and Matt already jumped Nosy for P3.
Was that using the DRS?
Yes, of course.
As we've sadly missed that move, but nonetheless we go back to these two, and it is Nausea versus Matt, and at the minute it seems like Matt has the edge over him. And into the final sector we go. We head towards Big Boy Brazier. There's been a very quick 12 laps. 12 laps is over and done with already, and Jamie exits the final corner up towards the hill already, and already Ben supporting the Ferrari drivers, and the Ferrari driver is on top. So Big Boy Brazier, Forza Ferrari, Big Boy Brazier wins the sprint race.
And Gary comes from second, and Matt is behind. So we've got the podium guy. Oh no, actually Matt had a time penalty, so Nosy is P3.
He is indeed. James hanging in there for P5 with Argent coming home in P6. I think he's going to lose out to Ivor as well. So he crosses the line. Where is Ivor? There he is. He will cross the line and he will finish P6. Argent down to 7th. PN will finish in 8th. 9th will go the way of Smoky Devil. Sutty Apex in 10th. And DJ Phil bringing up the rear. How was that, Ben? That was a intense and a mad race already so far.
Yeah, so for the fight for P1 was actually kind of entertaining until that accident happened. But hats off to James because he managed to bring back the car without a front wing.
He did indeed, and obviously he's just there with the damaged front wing. But either way, Big Boy Brazier takes the win on this one, and that's a great start for him tonight. And now I got a chance to do so. Let's have a hello and welcome to everybody in the chat. We have got Dan, we got Mummy D, Daz Automatic PN as well, Argent. We've also got Ben obviously in the chat, myself, Robert, and a few others as well. Lucas Roth, nice to see all you guys in the chat. How are we doing this evening? Are we well? And are we looking forward to the race 2 here? But either way, Big Boy Brazier takes the race win. Second goes with Gary 131. Third was Nausea. Fourth was Matimovic. Fifth was James. Sixth was Ivor. Seventh was Argent. Eighth was PN. Ninth was Smoky Devil. 10th was Sutty Apex. And DJ Phil bringing up the rear. And I'll come to you now, Ben, and what a dominant start already there from Big Boy Brazier. Slight bit of contact from James, but I think they'll go into this next race knowing what packages they have. Who do you think is going to be the one to watch out for in this next race?
Definitely for Big Boy Brazier and Gary. Of course, they are the top two. I don't know. James will be interesting. I think he will make an interesting comeback, so we could watch it.
Definitely so. Again, we're just starting to pick up some crackling from your headset there, mate. I'm not sure why, but hopefully it should sort itself. That's all right. But either way, If you were to put your money on who's going to win the feature race, who would you put your money on?
I would put it on Big Boy Brazier because from the top three he had the highest.
So Ben is going the way of Big Boy Brazier. I'm going to go...
Ferrari.
Forza Ferrari, always got to support Ferrari. I'm going to go the way of... I'm going to go Gary 131 on this one. I think Gary will be quite ruthless at the start and will try and want to jump him as quickly as possible.
We'll see about that.
As I'll go Aston and Ben's going Ferrari. If you're such a big Ferrari fan, then Ben, why do you drive the Audi? Is it just because you find the Audi suits you better, or is it like the Ferrari's not your style?
It's kind of interesting. I tried out the Ferrari, but I don't know. The Audi is just fits more in my driving style.
And also, obviously, learning more and more about yourself here at Simplay Motorsport, getting to know you a bit better. Are you a wheel runner? Do you run the wheel, or are you on the controller and pad?
This time I'm with a wheel.
You're on the wheel, okay.
Now. With the Thrustmaster T150 is currently the cheapest normal working wheels the web right now, so I bought that.
That's fair enough. As we get our formation lap underway, it's going to be another dry race, which is nice to see. We here at Simplay, we seem to have an obsession with wet races. I don't know why. I forgot to mention, with all the chaos that was going on in the qualifying, Gary picked up a few penalties, and there's me thinking he's going to start second. He's actually starting last on the grid. And Nausea will now be alongside Jamie at the start of this race, so this has put a spanner in the works. So in that case, I'm going to change my bet for Gary, and I'm going to go with Ivor for this one.
Well, it will be interesting because the different tire strategies, as I see that James is on soft, so I think he will try to get in front of the guys on the first stint, and I think he wants to have a higher pace in the first stint, and we will see about that.
Obviously, anybody who is new to F1, they do run 3 different types of compounds: a soft, medium, and hard. And as they state, the soft tyre is a softer, faster tyre, and it does only last for so long, but it does give you the best performance. The medium tyre, obviously, the medium of the range, it will give you a little bit further than the soft, but not as quick as the soft. And then you've got the hard tyre, which is the slowest tyre of all, but will give you the longest amount of performance. So, as you said there, Ben, it's a track that with anything can happen and multiple things can happen. Everyone going for different strategies. According to this, if you start on a medium, you could do a 1-stop. If you start on the soft, it looks like it's going to be a 2-stop. But either way, the big boy Brazier will start on the hards, and he's going to have a very fast James on softs and a Nausea on mediums to deal with. But Matt also going hard as well.
You have a difficult job to done, but we'll see how his strategy will work out. I think he's obviously trying to do a 1-stopper.
He will indeed. As the revs rise here, the cars will start to rev as we get going for the penultimate round of the season. James has won the championship. We're about to go green here in Brazil for the feature race, and we are green here as we see James with the softer tyre gets the advantage off the line. He clears Nausea, he clears Jamie into turn 1, and there we go. There's the benefit of the soft tyre. James now leads into turn 1, easy as you like, and off he goes towards turn 4. That was a very good start there from James, wasn't it, Ben?
I didn't expect that. Such a nice start from James.
Beautiful start there from James, and meanwhile Matt has managed to jump Nausea, and they're too busy trying to trip over one another as they've got Argent and Smoky Devil, who's also on the soft tyre, right behind them as well. Ivor on the hard tyre, he's looking to make sure he survives as there's a contact with Smoky Devil there, and he managed to keep it facing the right way. As they now start to have the drivers start to spread themselves out. Big Boy Brazier's job now is just to stick to James as much as he possibly can. But James, with those soft tyres, will want to extend his gap as quickly as he possibly can and disappear into the distance. And he needs to break that DRS. And at the minute, Benny's doing that right now, 1.1 ahead of Big Boy Brazier.
Yes. I don't think Big Boy Brazier will have a chance now because he's on the harder tires, of course. But the different strategies will pay off, and we'll see how it will end up.
We shall indeed, as Gary 131 goes very wide in turn 1, has to cut the chicane and stays ahead of Sutty Apex, who's on the soft tyre. He's looking very fast. He's going to the outside of the Aston Martin. He gets the job done without DRS, and Sutty Apex is back up into P8. But Gary is going to give him a hard time. Meanwhile, Ivor has just left the session, so we're having internet issues. So I get him back into the lobby, but well, it's going well for everyone right now, this is.
Yeah. Actually, the fight for P6, I believe, is very, very close.
Obviously, Ivor's AI would have taken over, so he will be a lot slower right now, but hopefully he will be able to get back into the session. I have just sent him an invite as Sutty Apex goes down the inside of Ivor's AI, and around the outside will go Smoky Devil as he gets the job done as well. The invite has been set to Ivor, so hopefully he will be able to get back in the session, but Smoky Devil goes very wide and allows Gary 131 to go right down the inside of him.
Gary actually had a really nice first few laps from P11 to P7.
As Ivor has joined us back into the session now, and hopefully he should be able to take over his car. His AI has just been through all sorts of trauma right now, as Gary gets himself a time penalty for extending track limits. And we are on board with Nausea, who's got the DRS on Matt Ahimovic. He's on the medium tyre right now and starting to give Matt a bit of a headache.
Oh. Yeah, Smokey is through Gary.
He is indeed, and now Sutty Apex is on the back of Argent. He's giving him a hard time on those soft tyres. He nearly drops the rear there as he goes down the inside of Argent. Can't quite get the job done.
So Gary is still trying to fight back with Smokey.
He is indeed. Meanwhile, your closest fight at the minute is Sutty Apex. He's really hustling the back of that Alpine as they head towards the start-finish straight. He needs to get a good exit here, and he gets it right on the back wing of that Alpine. DRS, he hasn't even got the DRS open yet, and he's already alongside. He's got the ERS deployed. Now the DRS is open, and around the outside he goes. Argent opts to pit. That's quite early on this race.
Yeah, especially on the medium tires.
Bit of an odd strategy there, but meanwhile Gary 131 is on the back of Smoky Devil. Is he going to use the DRS to get himself ahead? Meanwhile, Nausea is down the inside of Matt Ahimovic. He's trying to go wheel to wheel with him, and Matt losing out to the Alfa Romeo driver.
But he's attacking now, and Matt is in front of Nausea again.
He is indeed. Argent's still in the pits. He's up to go to the hards. Can he go to the end on those hards? That's the question. That's a long way to go. Obviously, the F1 guys in Azerbaijan today managed to do... Ocon managed to do 50 laps. I think it was something was like that. 50 or 51 laps.
Yeah, and he almost ran over a few photographers. But that's another story.
I'm pretty sure we won't get any of those incidences here at Brazil. I mean, talk about trying to get a shot. I mean, that's taking the mick, isn't it? Getting a little bit too close.
It could have been a serious incident, but thank God it didn't turn out that bad.
As Gary now overtakes Smoky Devil into turn 1, and through he goes. Smoky Devil losing out. Now it's Ivor's turn. He's on the hard tyre. He's back in the car, and he is on the back end of that Alpine. DRS open. Smoky with DRS as well. It's going to be tight into turn 4. Smokey eventually losing out there to Ivor, but he looks like he's had a good run out the corner and gives Ivor a little push up the hill.
Nice driving by these two.
Yeah, Smoky Devil really starting to push as hard as he can, and Ivor's left again. Really suffering with internet issues here. And I'll have to send them another invite.
It's a shame because it was a really good fight between him and Smokey.
Meanwhile, we go back to Matahimovic. He has got nausea within half a second of him once again. DRS is available. No safety car at the minute, so James is way out in front. Do you think those soft tyres on James will start to be affecting him now?
Yeah, because as I say, Big Boy Brazier is started to close up slowly, but he's closing up on James.
We're on the rear wing of Matt, and this time Nausea not able to get any closer. Matt tries to break the toe. Nausea not really having any of it. He's staying on his racing line, and Matt will stay in front. Meanwhile, Gary has got himself ahead of Sutty Apex, and this is now where the softer tyre runners are starting to feel the effects. And you can see now Sutty and Smokey dropping backwards, and Big Boy Brazier is now starting to creep onto the back of James.
Yes, Gary is doing a really good job.
Yeah, considering he started from the back of the pack, he's already got himself up into 5th place. A shame he's got a penalty to his name, but either way, he is working his way up the order. The man who's in a relatively good place at the minute is probably Nausea on no medium tyres. He's currently P4, sticking with Matt, sticking with the leaders, and he could go pretty far with those mediums. If he can go relatively far, he might be able to go onto the softs later on in the race, but that is a big, big ask.
Yes, I agree with that.
It's definitely doable though, but he's going to have to really look after those medium tyres. He's going to have to do a Sergio Perez and really nurse those tyres.
Yes. I think the hard runners will eventually try to get a one-stopper.
Well, that's what the thing predicted. It allowed the drivers to switch maybe to the medium tyre or possibly the soft tyre. But if you're in Big Boy's in Matt's position right now, you're on the hard tyre, you're going as long as you can. Would you try and eke out as long as possible to get onto the softs, or would you just stay safe and go medium?
Actually, from ACC, I'm the kind of guy who stops as late as possible. So if I were him, I try to go as far as I can. Actually, he's closing up on James, so I would go as far as possible and maybe try the softs on. But I think the safest choice would be the mediums.
As James is into the pits, the soft tyres are done after 6 or so laps. He is into the pits. Meanwhile, Matt has still got Nausea to worry about. He's right behind him, and soft tyres are coming off. What's he putting on? He's onto the hard tyre. He should be able to get to the end on that, don't you think, Ben?
Yeah, it's possible. It will be hard, but it's possible.
As Jamie now leads the way. He's got a 4-second gap over this fight for 2nd place now. Gary up to P4, Sutty P5 on the soft tyres, as James comes out just behind this fight between Smoky Devil and PN, so really not falling into the right spot here. He's just managed to clear them, so that's very lucky, but he needs to get tyre temperature in those hard tyres as quickly as he can.
Yeah, it was a great move from James. I think he watched those gaps where he would came out.
He is currently...
He got lucky.
He is currently in a window where there's no cars around him. His closest car next to him would be Sutty Apex, and he's 5.6 up the road, so he can just nurse those hards and start pushing a little bit harder if he needs to. But right now, James has got his pit stop done out the way and hard tyres to the end, possibly for him. Meanwhile, Matt still got some pressure from Nausea, who seems to be having DRS issues, I think, because I don't seem to see his DRS opening up.
Yeah. I didn't see the issue, so... But... yeah.
There it is.
Oh, he actually opened his DRS now, so...
As Smoky Devil comes into the pits, the next soft tyre runner in, and as we now go back on board with Nausea, who's just behind Matt, and the gap seems to have all just spread out ever so slightly. And right now, DJ Phil gets himself another time penalty to his name. Dan probably wouldn't be too happy about that one. But right now, Ben, this is part of the race where everyone's starting to change strategies, they're starting to change tyres. Right now is obviously you just got to focus on the plan that you came up with and go to the end. How easy is it for your mind to get distracted, or how easy is it for the driver to just lose concentration and make that slightest mistake at this point in the race?
On cold tires, So when you came out from the pits with fresh tires, it is very easy to make a mistake with this car. But I think you can manage it. I mean, James is a champion now, so I don't think he will make a mistake like that.
Well, as we see here, Nausea and Matt going at it. Nausea got the job done into turn 1, now into turn 4. Matt gets the DRS, and Matt now staying just ahead of the Alfa Romeo driver. Great little scrap between these two, as I believe Nausea is also struggling with internet issues, so he's bouncing around all over the shop. But either way, Nausea right on the back of Matahimovic. These two having a great little scrap, and the only fight that's on track at the minute.
Yeah, it was a nice overtake by Matt, by the way.
It was indeed. And obviously, as a driver, Ben, do you, when you go and obviously racing with these guys and get on track, do you thrive for that fight, that good little scrap wheel-to-wheel racing, or is it just better to go for the more safer, boring races and try and win outright? Or do you, like I said, do you
actually really do enjoy going wheel-to-wheel with someone. It's the best way you can race. So, but of course, if you choose the safest way, you can have the highest chance to finish in the position you want. But the beauty of racing is, of course, the wheel-to-wheel fights.
It is indeed. And speaking of wheel-to-wheel, we've got Nausea and Matt going at it. Matt defends the inside, to the outside goes Nausea, but he can't seem to kind of get the job done. Meanwhile, while that was all going on, James has cleared Sutty Apex, and he has moved one step closer to the front of the grid. Meanwhile, Big Boy Brazier with a giant lead at the minute over these guys, as they're too busy squabbling over one another. So far, so good for the Ferrari driver, isn't it, Ben? He's got no problems, no issues. He's pretty much cruising at the minute, and the only person he's got to worry about is James, who's currently in P5.
Oh, Ivor has left the session again.
It is not having it tonight for Ivor. He's struggling with internet issues here, which is a shame to see. As right now, once again, we go back up the hill, and Nausea right on the back of Matimovic. DRS will open up for him. And Matt,
I don't think he'll be close enough.
He won't be close enough for turn 1, but will he be close enough for turn 4? A lot of the drivers in Formula 1 today at Baku was using the main DRS zone to get close enough so they can attack for the second DRS. Do you think this is what Nausea's got to start doing at the minute? He's not being able to benefit it into turn 1. Matt then gets the DRS and attacks him back. Does he need to get the job done in turn 4?
Well, yeah, if he wants to overtake Matt, of course, first of all you have to get into the slipstream. But he wasn't even close, so you have to build has to close the gap between them to have a slipstream, so you can have a chance to overtake.
Sutty Apex has pitted. He's now coming back out on track. As I think I'm going to have to try and attempt to give Ivor, oh, I pressed the wrong button, to get another invite in. Like I said, it's just not going Ivor's way tonight. Never seems to do so. The AlphaTauri driver, such a shame because I'm a massive AlphaTauri fan, and he's not really doing it justice at the minute. Meanwhile, Big Boy Brazier still leading this race with a comfortable gap of 7.5 seconds ahead of Matt, who's now suddenly broken away from Nausea. Nausea just lost out in the DRS zone now. So he's now starting to struggle on those medium tyres. You can see in the background, Gary131 is coming also to the back of the Alpha driver.
Yes, I think his tires are starting to get worse lap by lap, so he'll started to lose from that.
Yeah, he will start to lose grip and performance at this stage. Obviously, James going long, going quite short with the soft tyres. He has come back out on the hard tyre, and he's trying to make sure he keeps a smooth and consistent race pace so that he can jump all these guys once they all pit. But right now, his biggest threat is Big Boy Brazier, who's been quietly consistent going his own business and not really having any problems. We look back to Argent and Ivor, and Ivor's AI has lost out to Argent, and it's all just kind of eased off and slowed down a little bit. Quickly on to you, Ben. Obviously, because of the whole mishap of what happened at the start of this stream, and I couldn't get it going. First things first. It's nice to have a different country commentator in the chat with us. Obviously, we're a league that invites so many different types of people from different genders, different ages, different countries, all sorts of things. Yourself, you're Hungarian, and you said to me that you've, before we went live, that you've been to pretty much every Grand Prix that you've seen at the Hungarian Grand Prix. And is it as good? Is the Hungarian track as good as this one, or do you think that Brazil was better than the Hungarian Grand Prix?
A lot of people say that the Hungaroring is Monaco, just without the barriers. You know, by the spirit, I drove a lot of laps on that track, and I kinda enjoy it. Of course, it's very hard because it doesn't have a long straight rest, so every corner comes after a corner, so it's really hard to not lose concentration. And but I do enjoy that track.
Well, next season we will be going to your home track. It will be on the ACC calendar. The Hungaroring will be on the track, and are you looking forward to racing there, man? With so many laps under your belt, you should go very, very well around there.
Of course, yes, I'm looking forward to it. It will be the last race, so it's a long way to go there, but I wait and I will enjoy it.
As also another, obviously with the off season, we got a long off season. I think it's something like 6 weeks off. But what are you going to do in that time? Obviously, a couple of special events happening here on Simplay Motorsport. We're looking at possibly having GT3s versus GT4s on the 2.4 of Spa, and also I think we're possibly having a PS5 event. I'm not sure if you got the PS5.
No, not yet.
Not yet, but the PS4 one, then possibly was it the GT3 versus GT4s, the 2.4 hour of Spa. You think fancy giving that a go and giving that a try, maybe in a GT3, or would the GT4s suit you better?
With the GT3 because I don't have the GT4 DLC yet, but and I never give it a go in ACC with GT4 cars, but it would be interesting. I see about that.
Well, we might be well, we might be sharing the track, but this time with myself in a GT4. So watch out for my Maserati; it might become a mobile chicane. Meanwhile, we're on board with Gary 131. He's right on the rear wing of Nausea, and Nausea looks like he's just in trouble now. Those medium tires look like they're gone, and Gary around the outside with the DRS open, easy as you like.
Yes. So Gary is doing a really, really good job. He's already up in P3.
He is indeed, and let's not forget James has already pitted, so he will probably be trying to push as hard as he can to make sure that he is in a good position to fight James later on. But either way, it's all going to pan out very soon with all the pit stops. Lap 16, and we still got 20 to go, and so far it's been plain sailing for Big Boy Brazier. Currently leading this race. He's 9.3 ahead of Matt now, and he's looking like he is in cruise mode right now.
Yeah, and Matt isn't even closing up on him, so it's easy for Big Boy Brazier at the moment. But after the pit stops, it will be interesting, I think.
As Nausea has now blinked and started to come into the pits. Dan saying, come on, Phil. There is Phil at the minute. He's currently P11 and trying his very best to work his way up the order. And right now, Nausea is in the pits to put the hard tyre on. That should see him easily to the end of this race. Meanwhile, Argent now starting to come under some pressure from Sutty Apex, who had pitted. He's on the hard tyre and is now on the back of Kieran Argent, and not able to quite get close enough at this stage, but the DRS is open for the Red Bull driver. So to go down into turn 3. Right now, Ben, obviously people are starting to make their pit stops, starting to make their last minute stops for the day. Right now, Sutty Apex.
Yeah, I think it's the time for the medium runners to start. So, Nosy, I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, but Nosy was the first one to start, and I think PM is on the medium, still the stop soon.
He will indeed, as he's just on the back of Nausea, who has pitted already. So right now, big PM Motorsport just minding his own business. P6 at the minute. He's jumped a few cars already. But Smoky Devil has pitted already on the other medium tyres. He's got a way to go yet. As PN now dives down the back of the straight, as he's now diving into the pits, and he's getting rid of those medium tyres into the pits for some hards, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be on hard and go to the end.
So right now, Smoky Devil onto the back of Ivor's AI and looking to try and get a move done on him. Obviously the AI taking control, and I think Ivor has given up. He says this legit taking the mick, getting kicked through the internet, working fine, and is not happy with EA. As I think Ben, you had troubles with EA. Oh, Smoky hits the back of Ivor.
DJ Phil has had a moment, and again, I think his rear tires are hot.
Yeah, if he keeps spinning those tires up anymore, they will get really hot, and I think the same for Smoky. Yeah, he had a moment with Ivor. He hit the rear of him, and around he went. So off he goes. But his tires are going to be hot. Starting to just receive a little bit of crackling from your end again there, Ben, but hopefully it should be able to clear itself. Right now, Sutty Apex is just on the back of Argent. He should be able to get him in the DRS there as they head towards the back straight.
Yeah, it's the only battle right now on track. But he is a bit far to the record, so...
Yep, as they head towards turn 1. The DRS isn't quite working for Sutty there. He's not quite close enough to get the job done. So Argent, as he gets himself a time penalty there, going over the curb too much, and Sutty not able to pounce on him at that stage.
Also, time penalties are interesting factors in this game, because I already heard that map contained a lot about the game penalties. I watched the streams.
Yeah, Matt is not a big fan of these strict corner cut-in, but meanwhile, Big Boy Brazier hasn't got any penalties, nor has James, nor has Nausea, as I thought I saw Gary coming into pits. Yes, Gary is in the pits. The first of the hard tyre runner is in, and he is going to opt to go to the medium, surely, as I think there's also another team coming in. I believe that... He's gone to the soft tyre. That's a bold call.
Interesting.
That's a very bold call, as Argent now... Is he going to get to the end on them? That's a long way to go.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I think he wants to get the back of James. Because he just got out in front of Nosy.
He's got a lot of work to do, mind, to get that to work. Meanwhile, Argent and Sutty are still going at it. And right now... He will have to do a Sergio Perez right now. We have to nurse those softs like there's no tomorrow. That's a long way to go. 16 laps on softs. No chance.
It will be really hard if you want to go to the end with them.
Hard, I think it'll be neck end of impossible. But either way, Gary's going to give it a go. Meanwhile, Big Boy Brazier is in and gone. So he's put the medium tyre on, as is Matt. He's coming to the pits. There is James. He goes into turn 1. Where is Jamie? He's about to come off the limiter, and James takes the lead of this race. But more importantly, though, Jamie is onto the medium tyre. Big Boy Brazier on the medium tyre. Can he hunt and catch Jamie before the end of the race?
I think he has a great chance for it, because not only he has pressure, but softer tires. So he should be faster than this.
This should be a very interesting end to this race for sure. Jamie versus James, medium tyre versus hard tyre. James got a lot of work to do. We will obviously get a chat with our champion, James. He's currently on track at the minute. Obviously, we'll get him into the commentary box a little later on to have a quick chat with him. But right now, he's got a lot of work to do, keeping Big Boy Brazier behind him. Round 2 for these two. And right now, already, Jamie was 2.1 behind. He's already 1.3 behind James already. So already those medium tyres working at their best.
We had a really good fight between these two.
As Nausea is now onto the back of Matahimovic once again. Obviously the penalties will favour Nausea right now, so Matt is going to have to try and clear Nausea as much as he possibly can.
Oh, Big Boy Brazier had a bigger bumper run in the semi assist.
And Gary sets fastest lap of the race on the soft tyre, which we're not surprised about, but he's got a long way to go on those softs. Oh, James has a big wiggle into turn 4 there.
I saw it. And I think Gary needs to really look after his tires if he wants to finish the race on them. So he should watch out. I don't know what was on his mind choosing the soft tires. Maybe it's a mistake. We will never know, but it will play out interesting for him.
Meanwhile, Jamie is caught right onto the back of James. Maybe the hard tyre isn't the best tyre right now. And James seems to be struggling for grip right now as Jamie now exits the final corner, gets better run, get better drive than James, and he's already within the DRS range before they even get near them as they come to the back straight now. Jamie, DRS open, and James bails into the pits.
Sorry, James is coming into the pits.
He is indeed. Clearly those hard tyres are not working for him. What's he going to change to? Clearly the medium tyre would be the right tyre to go on, surely.
Yes, and I think he will try to have a stand for maybe first or second position. So I think he will push it for the limit, either to the medal.
He's got a lot of work to do, mind, from P5. He's got to clear Nausea, he's got to clear Matt, he's got to clear Gary, and he's then got to eventually catch Big Boy Brazier.
I think Gary will come out to have a stop because it's nearly impossible to finish the race on that compound. So I don't think he has to worry about Gary, but we don't know.
Who knows? Jamie is obviously got a comfortable lead at the minute, 13.3 ahead of Gary, who's on the soft tyre, but like we think, the soft tyre isn't going to last him very long. So really, it's a fight between the second and third place positions for Matimovic, Nausea and James. James dropping to the medium tyre now, as Big Boy Brazier sets fastest lap of the race on the medium tyre, and showing already what they can do.
I think Big Boy Brazier will have a comfortable lead, I think, till the finish line, till the finish of the race. And you know what's interesting? Smokey Devil has a 17-second time penalty. That's so strange. So high.
A lot of track limits, possibly, maybe, as James now gets his first time penalty as well. So James, not a man who usually gets time penalties for cutting corners, and he's got one.
I wanted to say that that's strange from James. As I saw the races, he barely has time penalties.
James really pushing the limits here. He's really trying to he's really trying to get as much as he can out of that Williams. But right now, Nausea is on the back of sorry, he's not on the back of Matimovic. He's up to lap Smokey, but he's got the Williams of James hunting him down right now.
Yeah, right now the closest battle is between PM Motorsport and is it still the AI for Ivor?
I believe Ivor is now in the car again.
Oh, then Big Boy Brazier's teammate is actually hunting down Ivor. At least he's trying to.
I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a look at the wheel. I could probably tell by the wheel. And I think that is probably AI behind that.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think that's AI under control of that.
Also, James is on the back of Nosy now. Only 3/10 of a second. And he eventually tries to overtake. And on the outside, he gets the job done.
So James up a place already on Nausea. Next car for him will be Matimovic, but that'll be a long way to go. His strategy there has not really worked out for him. The hard tyres didn't seem to want to work, and the soft tyres just didn't want to turn on. So right now, Big Boy Brazier, like Daz Automatic says in the chat, classy drive from Jamie tonight, fair play, and he has just been the best so far tonight. No one really been able to challenge him as Gary's now into the pits. As according to the guys in the chat, we're struggling to hear you, Ben, so I don't know if you need to bring your mic a little bit closer.
I will try.
There we go, we can hear you loud and clear now. As Gary now onto the medium tyre.
Yeah, I think it's because I have the older headset on me, because my newer one's microphone is actually not working, I don't know why. So
oh, okay.
That's my alternative.
I'm sure we can get it tweaked and sorted, so next time out I won't have any hiccups with the Streamlabs. We'll have it running nice and smooth and we can hear both of our beautiful voices for the final race of this season. As I'm pretty sure these guys have all just strung out a little bit once again. It's not really much going on. 10 laps to go. With not a lot of racing going on. Jamie heading towards the start-finish line. 17.2. That is a gap right now. He's comfortably well out in front.
It looks like a really comfortable win for Big Boy Brazier.
Ferrari. Forza Ferrari. If only they had that pace today in the real Formula 1, wouldn't that have been great to see?
Yes.
Or either way, but would be nice to see someone go wheel to wheel with Max Verstappen and him not cry. As Mummy D in the chat says, a lot better, so we can hear you loud and clear. So as we go into the latter part of this race, Ben, obviously they head towards Abu Dhabi, the final race of the season. A track that never seems to produce some great racing. Obviously we had that controversial year between Lewis and Max, and obviously that was due to the stewards doing a lot of the work of that. But
my favorite comment on the track was by Kimi Räikkönen, you know, the first few turns are quite good, and I won't finish this sentence.
Yeah, first corners are quite good. The rest of it is a word beginning with S.
Yes.
I think most people can figure that one out. But obviously, it starts within like the late evening, going into the night. A track that's, like I said, quite dull, isn't it? Obviously, with this layout this season, obviously they'll have the fast swooping left-hander instead of the tight twisty chicane. Is it a circuit that we like, or is it a circuit that we kind of like? Meh?
Driving on that is actually kind of good, so I enjoy driving on it, but for racing it's not the best, of course.
No, it is not the best at all. Obviously, if I have I believe I have the list of the tracks for next season. Let's go on DJ Phil for a little. I say that. Sati Apex has pitted. Let's go on DJ Phil for a bit. We didn't see much of DJ Phil. I'm just going to scroll back and see the list of the order for the tracks next season in ACC. Obviously, like I said, we go to your home circuit. We go to the Hungaroring in Hungary. That's going to be definitely a race that you'll be looking forward to. But a couple of circuits where you'll have to get a DLC, the Continental Pack, I believe you'll need, as DJ Phil comes into the pits to put the medium tyres on. As the second season looks like this. Round 1 will be Paul Ricard. The second race of the season will head to Belgium in Spa and return once again to Spain for the third round of the season to Catalonia. Round 4 will be Zolder back to Belgium again, as we then head to the United Kingdom for round 5 at Brands Hatch. Next time out, we'll be in round 6. We'll be heading to South Africa, to Kyalami, a circuit that used to run F1 cars years and years ago, but haven't done so since, and it needs to get the FIA grade, and hopefully we can see it one day in the future be used in Formula 1. Round 7 will be Zandvoort in the Netherlands. Round 8 will be Silverstone, back to the UK once again. We head to America for round 9 for Laguna Seca, and then we finish things off at your home circuit, Ben, at the Hungaroring. What do you think to the sound of that season?
It looks really good. Of course, I already have the DLC for, I believe it's the Intercontinental GT Pack, and I already have that because before you guys I was racing in Formula Racing League, and I needed that DLC there also. And of course, the most memorable track yet for me is Zandvoort, because I had my first podium with you guys.
But obviously now we know you're quite confident on the headset and you're able to chat with us. And next time out, if you do get a podium, we'll be able to hear you in the chat and get your reactions on the podium as well. And also a reminder to all the drivers, anybody who is watching that is wanting to be confident enough to come onto the commentary box and get their views, then please make sure you let us know so we can get you set up and able to hear your reactions after the race. Also, while I'm doing this, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss a thing here at Simplay Motorsport, as we've got all sorts of fun things going on for you in the mid-season, as we should have two ACC events, and we head back to Project Cars 2 for a couple of fun events as well. The Indy 500, and also we should be doing a THR night, which race that could end up an interesting squabble between some old classic cars that we used to race. Interesting here, first things first, James has now caught onto the back of Mate Himovic. Daz automatically cries because he says no Mazzano. I'm a bit upset because I didn't get to race Mazzano, but either way, it is what it is. But interesting here, Ben, Argent's gone to the intermediates.
Really? Interesting.
I do not...
I wouldn't do that. I don't understand. I think it's a mistake.
I think it's a mistake as well, because I don't see a single raindrop in the sky. I still see the...
It's cloudy, but it's... I think only 5 laps left, it won't rain that hard to the need of the intermediate tires, so I think it was a mistake by Argent.
I do...
He can already overtake him.
I agree with you on that one. I think that is a mistake. There is no rain forecast by that thing. Sutty Apex now up to P7. He's now got the job done on Ivor. Sorry, PN. So
and
Ivor.
Big Boy Brazier already have over a 20-minute gap. Not minutes, seconds, sorry. And,
20 minutes, I was going to say. 20 minutes,
sorry,
he's already finished the race. Yeah, like I think Jamie's got this in the bag. All he has to do is pretty much keep it facing the right way and he'll be all good. Meanwhile, James is on the back of Mate Himovic. He's got the DRS enabled just as he comes to the DRS detection zone. There it is, there's the DRS. We are on board with Matt's rear wing. We see the Williams get closer, 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 but not close enough for turn 1. Maybe James is trying to set him up for turn 4.
Only showing himself in Matt's mirrors, but I think to turn 3 he will get Matt.
Out of turn 3 we go. DRS open towards turn 4. James looking to the outside.
Oh, so close.
He was not close enough, and I think once again this is where we're seeing where James is carrying a little bit too much downforce. He's very quick in the middle sector, but he seems to be struggling on the straights ever so slightly, man.
Yes, we talked about it earlier and I think it's still true.
Obviously with the part firmware rules, whatever they picked for qualifying is what they're stuck with, and right now James is really starting to put the pressure on Mate Himovic. He doesn't really need to do anything because right now James has a 3-second time penalty and I believe Matt has a 6, so either way it will pan out. It will go the way of James.
Yeah, so he don't need to be brave, just keep the gap.
But as a racing driver, you're sat there, you're James, you can see the Aston Martin of Mate Himovic, you want to get involved.
I try to overtake, yes, but seeing the gaps, I think James knows that Matt has a 6-second time penalty, so...
Oh, he has a wiggle there, James does. He has a bit of a snap on the exit of turn 3, and he's right on the back of Matt once again, but I think with that poor exit, he's not able to do anything with it.
Yeah, still, what we said, that the Aston Martin just pulls away on the straight, even without the DRS open.
And you can see as well, Matt's been saving his ERS in the middle sector. You can see it's recovering at the minute. The flashing light at the back of the cars means that the car is generating or re-harvesting energy, or the electrical ERS system, basically a little power boost button, probably the same power as your Volkswagen Polo, being produced to the back of the car. And hey, you laugh. Volkswagen Polo is my car, man. I think I've had about 3 of them now. As Matt has a wiggle there.
We had a third generation Polo in my family. It was a nice car. So
that nice car is giving some Matt some good pace there as James goes right around the outside. Job done, and through he goes. But can Matt now get the...
Matt didn't have enough ERS. I think.
He is
There was
struggling with...
yes, there was a little speed difference in this race.
Yeah, and with the DRS open as well, Matt not able to attack James going into turn 4, and Matt obviously just losing out to James there, and I think James should now pull away. As you can see, both of their lights on the rear of the car harvesting energy as Ivor now comes into the pits, and a dreadful day for him. The man who's been quietly minding his own business is Nausea. He's dropped well off the pace now in P4. And so Matt will hang on to his P3 nonetheless.
And also Matt needs to look out for Nosy, because he's 10 seconds, but if he closes up, he can lose his podium.
He can indeed, as I would just keep an eye on the tables. As I just refresh them at the minute, Ferrari are still in this championship for the constructors, but they are slowly losing time on the rest of the guys. It's William versus Aston Martin, with James on his own versus Matt and Gary. And right now, James will outscore them, but they will both outscore. He's in the pits again. Why is he in the pits now?
I think he wants to go for the fastest lap, because Sadi is 27 seconds off him. So I think he will get out on P5 eventually.
He needs to make sure he stays ahead of Big Boy Brazier. He is, or he will do anyway. Big Boy Brazier is only now coming into the final quarter as he's following his teammate up the hill. Meanwhile, Matt is still trying to stick with James, but I think James, with the tyre advantage ever so slightly, has got that job done. And if the guys are listening, Big Boy Brazier, James and Matt, will have you, all three of you, in the commentary box if you all make it to the podium. That'd be nice to have a quick chat with the F1 drivers. We haven't had a chat with any of the F1 drivers this season, so it'd be nice to have a chat with them. But mainly James, because he's on his way home towards a championship. He's currently in P2. Jamie has got one lap to go. But you got to say, Ben, Big Boy Brazier in the Ferrari, Forza Ferrari, what a show tonight. He's really, really been the star driver tonight, and I think as well he'll probably be ending up driver of the day. He has been so smooth, so consistent, and has not put a foot wrong.
And he also had the race pace advantage and no time penalties. He was, I think, the driver of the day also for me.
Squeaky clean. So both our commentary boys are going for driver of the day. Guys, get your votes in for driver of the day as well. As Big Boy Brazier now enters the final corner, he's going to hang on to this championship for the constructors. He's lost the championships to James, but either way, Big Boy Brazier comes down the back straight. He's going to make it 2 for 2. He will win here at Brazil as Ivor goes fastest of them all. Meanwhile, James into the final corner he comes. What a star this season he's been.
I think Ivor just unlapped himself on the straight, if you saw. So he has another lap. That's interesting.
He wanted the DRS zone and got fast as that. James comes home in second. Matt is going to come home in third. He will finish in third place. As Nausea will come home in fourth. He'll be happy with that one. Just missing out on the podium with Matt's penalties there, so he'll finish in fourth place. Fifth, Ivor has had a spin by the looks of things. Yes, he has. Gary 131, will he get the fastest lap as DJ Phil's just in front of him? He's got possibly DRS on him. Gary does nick fastest lap away from Ivor, so he will take that away. As Sati Apex now coming down the back straight, he will finish in 6th place. PN Motorsport will come home in 7th. 8th will be Ivor. 9th is Argent. 10th is Smoky Devil. And 11th is DJ Phil. As I now see the tables being updated, Ferrari is now out of the championship for the constructors. It is now a two-way fight between Aston Martin and Williams. I know you said Ferrari when I just said they're out. So that's good stuff there, Dan. Driver of the day, Gary 131 according to the game. But between me and Ben, it is Jamie Brazier who takes driver of the day.
I would vote for Gary, but without this interesting strategy, he would, I think, had a much better place to finish.
He would have indeed. As there is your race winner, Big Boy Brazier. He is your winner tonight. As I will try and get James in here, whether if he's online or not. That is the question. Probably not, knowing him. Where is he? James. Add to the party. So it is Big Boy Brazier with 2 race wins, but it is James Ash who is your F1 champion. Matt will no longer hold the number 1. It will go to another Welshman of James Ash. Meanwhile, the fight between Aston Martin and Ferrari carries on. If Big Boy Brazier and Matt can hear us, then please get yourselves in the commentary box, as we'd like to have a quick interview with you boys. But there is your race results. It is Big Boy Brazier who is the race winner. Second will go the way of James Ash. Third is Matimovic. Fourth is Nausea. Fifth is Gary 131. Sixth is PM Motorsport. Seventh is Sutty. Eighth is Ivor. Ninth is Argent. 10th is Smoky Devil. And 11th is DJ Phil. Right. This is going to be an interesting one, because I do know for a fact that James should have his settings correct, but we are now speaking to your F1 champion. James, you are Simplay Motorsport's F1 champion for season 2. Buddy, how does that feel?
It feels great. Yeah, it feels good. Thank you very much.
What a season you had. Obviously, earlier on in the season, you had the fight between Max Mulder, and obviously also you had the fight with Tim, but obviously they went off. But either way, these two have definitely really been pushing you right to the end. But nonetheless, have you enjoyed it, and will the Williams return for a second season?
Yeah, it's been a really enjoyable season. I've really enjoyed it. It's my first season with Simplay, so hopefully in the future I'll have a chance to do another one and maybe defend my title. But yeah, it's been really enjoyable. The lads have been great. There's been some good racing, and yeah, it's been fantastic to be involved.
Now, obviously, today's race obviously didn't go your way. Jamie just seemed to have you covered no matter what you did. But we head to Abu Dhabi for the final race of the season. Firstly, are you going to be racing it? And secondly, can you win it if you are?
I think I will race it, because I really want to get Williams that Constructors' Championship, even if I am with one arm back. So yeah, I'll be there, and yeah, looking forward to the battle.
Like you said, constructors fight between Williams and Aston Martin. Now Ferrari are now out of it, but let's be honest, it's you versus Matt and Gary. Do you really think it's doable?
Yes, I do. I think Abu Dhabi. Well, this is the first race we've had today where there's been no safety car or anything. So I think if things go to the normal services resumed and there's a safety car, anything can happen. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on the win, and congratulations for an amazing season. Hopefully, we will see you give a great fight towards the Aston Martin boys for the final race of the season. But nonetheless, here is your champion, your F1 champion for season 2. It is James Ash in Williams. Congratulations to him.
Congratulations to James.
We'll now move to your second place man, who's still looking like he's going to hold on to second place in the championship. Jamie.
He's got it. He's got it. It's confirmed. He's got it.
He's got it as well. So Jamie, runner-up once again to an F2 and an F1 driver. But nonetheless, mate, an absolutely fantastic performance today. You were by far the best driver on track. You had the pace. Congratulations on the win. But such a shame you just missed out on the championship.
Yes, it's just a mixture of bad luck and just being caught out in other people's instance, and yeah, it's just one of those things that I've missed out on the championship, but it'll just make me more wanting to get another championship instead, such as the F2s, since I missed out on that last time.
Well, one of these times you will win a Formula Championship for sure. Yeah. The rumours are we possibly will be going to F2 for the next season, so hopefully you can go for that one. But obviously, let's have a quick chat about today's race. Easily, it looked like you weren't driving a Ferrari. It looked like you were driving a Red Bull. You were well out in front. You had it under control, and yeah, Forza Ferrari, 2 easy wins.
Yeah, so that second race, I saw James started on the soft tyres and I was questioning it a bit, but he had an electric start. But so with me starting on the hard tyres, I knew I was going to play the long game, so I just let him go and just tried to play my own race. And James being on the free stop strategy didn't work out as well, and just having that little bit extra pace as well just really helped as well. And the first race saw James getting closer and closer and closer, but the tyre wear was just atrocious around here.
It seemed like it indeed. Even the hard tyre runners were struggling towards the end. We head to Abu Dhabi for the final race of the season. There's nothing really in it for you ahead. There's nothing really in it for Ferrari either. They can't be caught, and you can't catch. I think you could just catch Williams if they have a bad round. But what is the plan for Abu Dhabi? Just go out with a bang with as many race wins as you can possibly get.
Two race wins. That's the plan.
Well, nonetheless, mate, congratulations on this season. Congratulations on your 2 race wins tonight.
Thank you, and well done to James on the title.
As we now move to Matt Ahimovic, your 3rd place man. Matt, I'm surprised you're not suffering with jet lag. Obviously, just landing from Switzerland to the UK and having an atrocious travel here. Yeah. But nonetheless, let's talk mainly of the constructors. Obviously, you've been hampered most of the season being involved in other incidences and troubles. But it is mainly about the constructors. Yourself and Gary in the Aston Martin have got quite your hands full with James. He seems to be on a roll earlier on the season, but seems to have been slowed down a little bit. Do you think that you boys can hang on to it just at the end?
I don't think James has been slowed down. I think James has been on his fatherly duties, and I understand that. And he's obviously a tired man. First of all, massive congratulations to him this season. He's not had the issues that myself and Jamie have had. You look at the start of my season. What was it? 8 races without a point or something like that, or 8 races with no points at the start. That's going to ruin your championship, no matter what format you race. But I think the constructors, I think we've got enough to hold James off. James needs 2 good race wins, and for me and Gary to have 2 bad results. If we get a good grid, then we'll see what, anything can happen. If we get a grid like tonight, it's going to be hard for James to do it, which is unfortunate because he's been fantastic all year.
He has indeed, and obviously, let's talk about your race tonight. It just didn't seem to go your way. Obviously, you're having to help me out earlier on with some sort of weird stream issues. I still don't know what the hell happened, but it was odd, and I apologise to Ben because obviously it was his debut commentating, and I did a big stand-up and big announcement for him, and it all just went completely tits up. But either way, let's talk about your race. Obviously, like I said, you didn't seem to have the pace that what Jamie and James seemed to have. You just seemed to be a little bit off the pace of what they had.
If I'm going to be honest with you, these last 2 weeks have been crazy. Obviously, we worked last week, flew on the Thursday, back on the Saturday, met up with you guys at Donington, and then, fly back out on the Thursday. Then with all the travel problems with planes and trains breaking down, last night and today, I'm just absolutely knackered. So I don't, and I love Interlagos. It's my favourite circuit. I always go strong there. I just feel tonight, I'm too tired. To concentrate. I'm genuinely going to put it down to that. Race 2, I wasn't playing. I don't know what was said on stream. I hope James doesn't think I was trying to mess around with him. I lowered my fuel hoping for a safety car. And let's just say a lot of fuel saving in them last 5 laps was required. So a lot of lifting coasted into court. Oh, mate, I lowered it for a safety car and we didn't get one. And I was minus 5.0 or something at one stage. I was trying to lift and coast gradually. Wasn't working. And then I just saw James within a second, and I thought, well, I've got no choice. If I don't fuel save now, I'm not making the end of this race. So, James, every time I was fuel saving, James got right on the back of me on the infield. And then it was floor it down the start straight. So, yeah, I just think I was just tired, mixed with... And again, would I have made that mistake had I thought about it logically with the size of the grid? Possibly not. It's just one of them nights, Dan, It's just an hard one.
Either way, you're currently third. You will be third in the championship. I think you are. Gary can catch you, so it's pretty much a 2-way fight between you two. Is it going to be gloves off, whoever comes out on top, or are you two going to race sensibly for the constructors?
Me and Gary always race well. I think first task, get that constructors done. If the constructors is done in race 1, free to race in race 2. I think we play it sensible. Race 1, Gary had the pace over me and he was the lead car. Race 2, he pitted, ruined his strategy, and then I was the lead car. I think that's the same tactic for next week. You know, we don't mess around. We make sure that we beat James, because we've still got a job to do. Regardless of if James is on his own or with a teammate, you've got to get the job done at the end of the day. So it's one of them. We'll see what happens. But again, just a massive congrats to James and Jamie and the party, man, because these two have had a cracking season. You know, you can't take nothing away from James's achievements, especially to possibly miss races at the end of the year with having a baby. You know, I'm not going to lie. At one stage, I was licking my lips, thinking, "Oh, if James has a baby now, you know, I'm still in this championship fight." I know how difficult it is being a father myself. So hats off to him for the job he's done, because he's still pumping in fantastic times and fantastic pace and great results for him. And you know, I just take my hat off to him. And it's two Welshmen who's won the F1. I won it last season. James has won it this year. So hopefully we keep this going.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations on tonight's racing. And it is now down between 22 points between Aston Martin and Williams for the constructors. The championship is done for the drivers. James Ash, once again, is your F1 champion. I still think he's going to be playing that on repeat when I go back to work on Tuesday, because I'm not going to hear the end of that one for sure. But either way, Ben, it's been an absolute pleasure having you in the commentary box. I apologise for all the mess that was going on earlier on. I will sort it out for next time. But nonetheless, a quick summary from yourself. How would you thought of tonight went?
It was an interesting race. Of course, the biggest surprise for me after seeing the races, there was no safety car. I did not see that.
I think you're a gem for not bringing the safety cars. We should have you in here more often, because I think with you here, the safety cars don't come out. But like I said, nonetheless, mate, thank you very much for joining me in the commentary box. And same again next week. We head to Abu Dhabi. You can join me once again?
Of course.
Of course. So there you go, guys. Your new duo for...
Seriously.
Yeah, we'll get it sorted out properly this time. Your new duo for F1 for the commentating is myself and Ben. You get to enjoy hearing us on Simplay Motorsport. And if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss a single thing here at Simplay Motorsport. Sign-up sheets are available now for the new ACC season, possibly around 5 to 6 weeks' time, where we'll be racing live at Paul Ricard, who is going to be taking the fight to De Silva in the Pro, or is there going to be a new winner? Who's going to take the fight to the FU Racing boys? Who knows? There might not even be an FU Racing for you know. From what I announced the other day, it's definitely not going to happen. But either way, get yourself signed up on the grid. Make sure you tune in for anything on Discord, for anything about any special events as well, as we plan to do a 2.4 of Spa on ACC, and also looking at doing the Indy 500 at Project Cars 2. But for myself and Ben and all the guys here at F1, it has been an honour and it's been a pleasure to announce James Ash as your new F1 champion. We will see you in a week's time at Abu Dhabi. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and good night.
Yeah, good night.